Come on, guys. Animals and children. I'm Richie Wilson from Soul Seafood and Grill on South William Street, and this is just a small selection of what's on offer on Irish shores right throughout the year. From this broad selection of seafood that we have here, we get some really amazing dishes. Whether it's the really extravagant, oversold, landed here on Irish shores, really hearty, meaty fish, all the way across to our mackerel. And we can all remember fishing these off the coast or off the side of a boat, even when we were younger as kids. Mackerel fresh on the day, under the grill with a little butter, a little salt and pepper. It's heaven, it's absolute heaven. John Dory, an absolute legendary fish. This one goes all the way back to St. Peter. He left his fingerprints on it so that we could recognize what it is. The monkfish, probably one of the uglier fish of the sea, but monkfish tail, it lends itself so well to smoked bacons and risottos and so much flavour that can be added in, and that fish stands all the way up to it, just like a big lump of steak. Wing of ray that we've had so many times in the chipper, and you've gone in to have your one-in-one. Little bit of work to do with the bones, but hey, it's worth it at the end, you know? Cod. All of our ethical fishing, all of our sustainability, all the efforts that have gone in to make sure that these fish are kept going for generations to come, and now we're seeing them coming back. Haddock, great with a beer batter, few chips, tartar sauce, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Dublin Bay prawns, a little bit of garlic butter on the pan, absolutely gorgeous. Mussels, we've got mussels from Roaring Water Bay down in Cork. Ling, exactly like a piece of hake really, a little bit more bony, but underused and should be used a lot more often. Oysters from all across the coast of Ireland. We have some great oyster producers. In fact, our oysters are known all over the world. Brill, over here, a big, big flat fish, way underused. Again, because it's got that few little bones going through it, we're all a little bit scared of it. But using a fish like that, make sure that all of those other fish that you want to eat, the cods and the haddocks and things like that, we're sustaining them. This one, a farmed sea trout from Ireland, absolutely gorgeous. Clare Island, not sending out any wild salmon at the moment, and that's for good husbandry and it's good ethics. This is the way it should be. Squid, landed in Wexford, calamari made from fresh squid is just outstanding. You won't have tasted anything like it. Lobsters, I suppose it's one of those treats that you can have, but lobster from Irish shore is a real treat. Lush, lush, lush. Irish lobsters like this and this fresh taste awesome. The difference between Irish fish and anywhere else in the world is this one is caught on your shore. There's no travel time before it gets as far as your table. And that's what makes the difference between good fish and okay fish. This is amazing fish. Choosing a favourite fish is next to impossible because it's the time of year that makes the difference. Mussels remind me of summertime, sitting with the kids, sharing a big bowl or a big pot full of mussels and some French stick or some nice brown bread. Mackerel brings back all those memories of, I can remember catching mackerel and we didn't make it back to the kitchen to cook it. We just cooked it there and there on the beach. As we get into winter and we're using things like ling or a bit of hake, or maybe it's even the simple gurnard down there, then we start lending some heartier flavours into it, and that's the kind of fish that we're looking for in the winter time. So hard, and I'm so excited about different fish at different times of year. It's impossible to choose one, it's impossible. Our relationship with fish in Ireland is just, it's not great. Whether that's because people are afraid to cook it in the house and we get the few smells going around, the few fishy smells going around the house. We also have this fear, I suppose, of bones when we're eating fish. And a lot of that work has to be done in the preparation. If we come back to the monkfish, there's little or no bone in it, but if we're preparing something like a John Dory, we make sure we take it off the fillet before we pan fry it, before we put it on the plate. That way we're getting rid of the bones. Historians say we have a problem with fish because we were made to eat it every Friday. I think if I knew I was going to eat fish on a particular day every week, I'd get excited about it. But I think probably the biggest problem is the smells in the house as you're cooking it. So what I'd say to counteract that is get the freshest fish you can buy and this house won't smell. That's basically it. I'm feeling quite out of breath now, sorry. Look, whatever type of Irish fish you're eating, it's great that it's Irish, fantastic. But listen, don't be afraid to be a little bit adventurous about it. John Dory's not your usual fish on the table. You know, ling may not be your usual fish on the table. Brill may not be the usual one that you go for. So if you want to be adventurous with fish, it doesn't have to be fish from across the globe. There's nothing wrong with it, but look what we've got on offer here. How could you not be adventurous with all of this fish?